One of my all-time favorite Sega Mega Drive games, or Genesis if you're in North America, is Revenge of Shinobi. It's the legendary sequel to the original 1987 arcade and Master System title, and it's one of those games I can easily pick up and play today. So you can imagine how excited I am that we're finally getting a brand new side-scrolling Shinobi game this year, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and it looks absolutely stunning. So in this video, I'll be diving into the new game, a bit of the history behind the Shinobi franchise, and the different editions you'll be able to get your hands on for this game. But first, let me say, this will be the first Shinobi game I've played since 1993 Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master. And I only played that game in recent years. It wasn't one that I played as a kid. And while that one is often considered the best in the franchise, the Revenge of Shinobi will always be my favourite. Playing as Joe Musashi, battling through cities, forests, temples, and military bases, all in the name of revenge, was just so epic and drew me right in as a kid, and kept me playing for years. And the soundtrack by Yuzo Koshiro is just legendary, and I also love the sound effects in this game. Just listen to that, it's so satisfying, I can't get enough of it. And when I was a kid, I even had the early version of the game that featured unlicensed bosses, which were suspiciously similar to Spider-Man, Batman, Godzilla, and the Terminator. Later versions of the game removed or altered them for obvious legal reasons. And it's crazy that there's been over a dozen Shinobi games released, but I've only ever played the 16-bit Mega Drive titles, including Shadow Dancer. The most recent Shinobi game was released 14 years ago, back on the Nintendo 3DS, and that was nearly a decade after the last console title, which was Nightshade on the PS2. So it's pretty safe to say that Sega hasn't really given much love to their once iconic poster ninja in recent years. But now that's finally changing with Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and it's set to release later this year, and from the gameplay, it just looks incredible. You'll once again play as Joe Musashi, the legendary ninja of the Oboro clan, and he returns home finding his village has been completely destroyed and his people have been turned into stone by ENE Corp, a ruthless paramilitary group led by the immortal Lord Ruse. And obviously, fueled by vengeance, Joe sets off to defeat the ENE Corp and restore his clan. The visuals in this game look incredible. It's beautifully animated, the environments look amazing, the smooth side-scrolling combat, the slick boss fights, and the platforming sequences just feel kind of like a love letter to the originals, but it's just been notched up 10 levels. And it's so good to see a game like this come out, because after the 16-bit era, traditional side-scrolling platformers, they largely fell by the wayside, as the gaming industry shifted focus towards 3D graphics, open-world exploration, and cinematic storytelling. And while there's been a few standout titles like Oddworld and Castlevania and others that kept the spirit alive, high-quality 2D platformers became more of a niche offering rather than a mainstream staple. But in recent years, we've seen kind of a resurgence of the genre, thanks to a wave of indie developers and passionate studios. Games like Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, Dead Cells, and The Messenger, it's just demonstrated how compelling tight controls, creative level design, and beautifully stylized 2D art can be. And you can see all of this in Art of Vengeance. And also, this game is developed by Lizard Cube, the same team behind Streets of Rage 4 and the remake of Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. So we're in good hands with this. It launches on August 29, 2025 across all platforms, the PS5, the PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. And there are a couple of editions to choose from. You get the standard edition, which is available physically and digitally on release day. I'll be going for the physical one as usual. And the digital deluxe edition, which includes 3-day early access, so you get to play the game 3 days early, a season pass, which gives you a ghost outfit, medic light amulet, in-game currency, and the Sega Villain stage coming early 2026, and a digital art and soundtrack. I'm a bit iffy on the in-game currency part. I'm not a fan of microtransactions after paying full price for a game. I'm not sure if that's what it is all about, but who knows? Hopefully it's not a big deal, and I guess we'll see. And there is apparently a DLC coming out, as I'll mention in this collector's edition, which is available exclusively through limited run games. And this thing is packed full of stuff. So it comes with the base game plus the DLC, the season pass. You get 2,000 gold. It comes with a deluxe clamshell case, which looks really cool. Official soundtrack on CD, hardcover art book, a steelbook, an 8-inch Joe Musashi statue, which is really cool looking, an individually numbered artboard, and a brand new issue of Sega Visions magazine, which is pretty amazing. And this is kind of where I tap out. It's priced at 199 US dollars, which is around 300 Australian dollars, which I find pretty steep. And while it looks awesome, there's more. So pre-orders run out until the end of this month, but it's still listed as in pre-production with estimated shipping for March 2026. That's 7 months after the video game launches, and it could be delayed further. Now, I haven't personally ordered anything from limited run games before, but after reading mixed reviews about shipping delays and communications issues, I'd just rather not deal with that. I just want the game, so I'll be picking up the physical copy from a local store here in Australia on release day. So what about you? Are you planning to grab Shinobi Out of Vengeance? Is it a day one buy, or are you going to wait and see? It's going to be a busy couple of weeks for me because right after this game drops, we've got the new Terminator 2D No Fate game coming out too, which I covered in my previous video, so check that out if you haven't. And I'll also be making a full review once Shinobi drops, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.